What's going on, guys? My name is Daniel Becerra and we are located in Yuma, Arizona. We're right in front of the Yuma Tile and Design showroom, guys. I'm going to show you guys inside what type of materials we have and what we can do inside of your home. Follow me. All right, guys, so if you guys have ever been in Yuma, Arizona, or are a resident of Yuma, Arizona, you guys are more than welcome to step inside of our showroom here. We have a bunch of cool tiles. We offer free design consultations, guys, and we actually show you what your tile can look like inside of your home. We use this cool vibe board is what we call it here. It's a computer on steroids, in other words, and we're able to toggle through any material that we have here at the showroom and change exactly the material that you're going to get on your walls, showers, whether you're doing a shower remodel, whether you're doing a kitchen backsplash, whether you're doing tile flooring. We have the ability to showcase that to you guys. So it's a natural stone that was imported, I think from Italy, if I'm not mistaken, but it came on boat from a ship. And yeah, like this was the last, I believe, shipment that they had here in the States. So we have to be very precise with our cuts and all that good stuff. So these are 4-inch currently. We're gonna rip these down to 2 inches, so we'll get 2 for 1. And the reason for that, on this specific project, we're gonna do a radius wall. So we wanna make sure when we do that radius wall, it's nice and curved. We don't want a bunch of indents on the tile for itself. For example, right? It'll kind of be like this. That's what we don't want. We want it to turn perfect. So by us cutting this down to a 2-inch, gives us a better radius. Correct, exactly. We chopped that down in half so we're able to turn it nice and neat. And so that's the game plan for this. We got about 160 square feet we have to rip. So the cutting
margin for error.
Exactly.
Something up.
100%. The cutting aspect is one, and then we're going to get what we call raw edges. So once we cut that with our 10-inch wet saw, we're going to have a pretty like a choppy edge. So we have to sand this down. Being that this is a natural stone, this bleeds all the way through. So it's a porous material. It's awesome because you have some wiggle room. In other words, because no matter how much we buff it, you're still gonna get that color body all the way throughout. So we're gonna cut these, we'll have a raw edge. Once we have the raw edge, then we're gonna sand these down to make sure it's a nice clean finish. These honestly didn't even come with a clean finish, so we have to clean these up anyways.
Shame on the supplier.
These are some of the details that we worry about when we're installing too, because this makes a world of a difference, dude. These are like, I'm talking like micro stuff that you got to look at when you're doing tile work. And that's what obviously separates us from any other company out here. I'll show you what a finished tile looks like, just to get a visual on it. And if you rub your finger on there, you'll notice the difference from a raw edge to a sanded edge. On a sanded edge, a polished edge, you can rub it without getting cut, and it's just flowing, right? Versus the raw edge, it's a bumpy ride. And once you get that installed on a shower wall and you grout, you see just a bunch of like micro little ridges, like a squiggly line, in other words, versus a nice clean finish. So this is an example of what that looks like. We're ripping these down to a 2-inch. So yeah, very custom project we're gonna be gliding into next week. We got Luis in motion, switching out our blade so we get a nice clean cut on this material. And yeah, we're gonna be doing this. This is probably like a 2 to 3 day job, getting all these cut down to 2 inches. We'll pre-pack these again and then take them back to the job site. So that's one of our...
Is the dry saw over the wet saw? Or what's the advantage of there?
Wet saw is gonna give you a cleaner cut for sure, 100%. I've had dry saws in the past, which work great. I think it just varies on material types. This gives us more room for error, and it gives us our nice clean cut. You really can't go wrong with when you have water flowing on a blade.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look at your different saws you use. And what's material like that run? Obviously solid.
Natural stone, because it's imported, it's a very expensive material. It honestly fluctuates, and they pretty much base it off price per square foot. Because it's an imported material, it's obviously 10x, right? The amount of, let's say, a manufacturer here in the States. So yeah, it fluctuates. I mean, you're probably talking anywhere from 5 to 15 to even north of $15 a square foot on material itself. Yeah, and that's not including the freight. But yeah, this is some of the natural stone we carry here. Now it's not, a lot of people are gliding away from the natural stone just because of the maintenance aspect of it, but anytime you're in more of like a luxury kind of location, we're definitely going imported material from Italy, Turkey, Spain, all these other locations. I personally love it. It looks great. It's beautiful. It just depends on what you'll be using it for, right? The household, right? You know, but if, for example, if you had, you know, a house full of, you know, a squad full of kids just running around every day, they got scooters, rollerblades, whatever in the household, this is really not going to hold up as much as a porcelain would, for example, just because of the durability aspect of it. So each material is, I would say, it'll work for certain locations based off what you want it for, right? A house full of kiddos, you're probably not going to want a beautiful natural stone that's $20 a square foot, and you're having to do a maintenance aspect on it every 6 months or so as far as sealing it. But this is some options that we do have here. Also have like these wood plank materials here that are very long lasting in comparison to a wood material. It mimics a wood material, but this is actually a porcelain material, which is a lot durable. It's heavy, it's good for heavy foot traffic, and it just lasts a lot longer. So it just depends. It just really depends on the project type and kind of what you want to get into. But we do definitely have a wide selection of different types of materials. Natural stones, we've got pebble rocks here. These are more so for like shower pan areas. Kind of gives you that natural look on that shower pan. Got these hexagons, which these are porcelain materials, and these are pretty good for if you want to kind of give it an accent pop either on your floor or your shower pan, as far as different type of materials. We use these typically. This is a remnants of a quartz, so this is a quartz top. It's pretty much very good for like tops of curbs, shampoo niches, shelves, things like that, where we don't have a lot of grout joints. And so that eliminates the maintenance aspect of it too. And then nowadays, we're really going large format tiles. These are super huge. These are like 24 by 48 inch tiles. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, so you can kind of get the idea of what that looks like as far as height, right? I mean, it's probably almost my height.
3/4 of a Dan.
Yeah. So that kind of gives you a visual of like how big these tiles are getting. A lot of people are shying away from the smaller tiles. Not everyone, don't get me wrong. I think it all depends on the interior design aspect of it. But these are definitely becoming a trend because of the low maintenance aspect of it. And it's just less grout joints. It looks super clean in there. It just kind of mimics a natural stone, in other words. Who's not gonna take advantage of a free design consultation, guys? Send me a message if you guys want to get started on a free design consultation, or pay us a visit here at the Yuma Tile and Design Showroom. You can find us on Google Maps, Apple Maps, and all over the map, to be quite honest. You guys have a blessed day. Take care.